Good morning, class 10. Today we will discuss a new chapter of physics, chapter 3, sources of energy. Sources of energy. First of all, what is energy? We know that the capacity of doing work is called energy. That means the capacity, that means working the power of any body is called energy. Then what is source of energy? The source of energy is one which provides adequate amount of energy is a convenient form over a long time period. All the sources of energy can be divided into two categories: non-renewable sources of energy and renewable sources of energy. So dear students, first of all we know what is non-renewable sources of energy. Those sources of energy which have accumulated in nature over a very long time and cannot be quickly replaced when exhausted are called non-renewable sources of energy. For example, coal is a non-renewable source of energy because coal has accumulated in the earth over very long time, and if all the coal gets exhausted, it cannot be produced quickly in nature. The non-renewable sources of energy are fossil fuels as coal, petroleum and natural gas, and nuclear fuels such as uranium 292 to 35. This is uranium. Non-renewable sources of energy are dug out from the earth. Dear student, the non-renewable sources of energy are also called conventional sources of energy. Paramparagat. The non-renewable sources of energy like the fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, natural gas are present in limited amount in the earth. Dear student, once exhausted, they will not be available in the earth again. The nuclear fuels like uranium have been put in the category of non-renewable sources of energy from the earth are limited and hence it will exhausted one day. Dear student, this energy, that means non-renewable source of energy is exhaustible source of energy. Now, renewable source of energy. Renewable sources of energy is what? Those sources of energy which are being produced continuously in nature and are inexhaustible are called renewable sources of energy. For example, wood is a renewable source of energy because it comes from the forest. If trees are cut from the forest for obtaining woods, then more trees will grow in the forest due to occur of the time. So the loss of wood by cutting the tree is made good by nature. The renewable source of energy are hydro energy, energy from flowing of water, wind energy, solar energy, are energy from sea, then like tidal energy, sea wave energy and ocean thermal energy, OTC, ocean thermal energy. Dear students, geothermal energy also renewable source of energy. Biogas is also renewable source of energy. Energy from biomass, fuels such as wood, biogas, gas and alcohol, and hydrogen. The renewable sources of energy are also called non-conventional sources of energy. Dear student, non-renewable sources of energy is conventional sources of energy, and this renewable source of energy is non-conventional sources of energy. And dear student, these sources of energy can be used again and again endlessly. They will never get exhausted, since renewable sources of energy will never get exhausted. So they are also called inexhaustible sources of energy. Another name of the renewable source of energy is alternative sources of energy, जिसकी खोज बार-बार हमारे साइंटिस्टों द्वारा बार-बार किया जा रहा है. According to the above classification, wood obtained by cutting from the tree is renewable source of energy, and newly planted slapping replacement of cut down tree taken a long time. Dear student, next, what is a good fuel? Dear student, what is a good source of energy? First of all, what is a good source of energy? There are following characteristics or properties for good source of energy. First of all, which put a large amount of work per unit mass. That means per unit volume. Next, which is cheap and easily available, which is easily to store and transport, which is safe to handle and use, and last, which does not cause environmental pollution. Dear student, next is fuel. Fuel is very essential for our daily life. Without fuel, we can't use motorcycle, electricity, as also cooking foods. But what is fuel? The materials which are burned to produce heat energy are known as fuel. Example of fuels are coal, wood, cooking gas, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, kerosene, diesel and petrol. Okay dear students, then in our daily life, the important sources of energy or fuels are in fact the concentrated storehouse of energy. The energy is released in the form of heat when the fuel are burned. Since a variety of fuels are available to us, we should have to mean the deciding which fuel is best for the purpose. Before we describe some of the characteristics or property of fuels which help to choose the best fuel or sources, we should know the meaning of term of calorific value of a fuel, ignition temperature of a fuel. Then what is calorific value? The amount of heat produced by burning a unit mass of a fuel completely is known as calorific value. Calorific value. Calorific value. Dear student, the amount of heat produced by burning of a unit mass of a fuel completely is known as calorific value. यूनिट मास को बर्न करने के बाद जितना अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी हमको मिलता है उसको हम लोग कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू कहते हैं. ये कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू हाई होना चाहिए तब आपको गुड फील होगा. ओके, देन नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन 1 gram of carbon or fuel like charcoal is burned, it produces 33,000 joules of heat. So calorific value of coal is or charcoal is 33,000 joules. Dear students, now ignition temperature. Ignition temperature is that type of temperature which is minimum temperature to which a fuel start burning. जिस temperature पर कोई fuel burn करना start करता है उसको हम लोग ignition temperature बोलते हैं. और ignition temperature किसी का भी बहुत लो होना चाहिए. जितना लो होगा उतना जल्दी वो burn कर देगा और अच्छा ही fuel कहलाएगा. Next, characteristics of ideal fuel or good fuel. Dear students, first is it should have to high calorific value. If calorific value is high, then we should choose the fuel is very good. Now, it should burn have giving out any smoke or harmful gas, because this burning gas destroy our eyes, kidney, lungs, etc. So we should burn without giving out any smoke or harmful gas. So it is a characteristics of good fuel or ideal fuel. And the next is third point, it should have proper ignition temperature. That means ignition temperature is minimum, so catch fire easily. It should cheap and easily available. If any fuels have cost 5,000 for 1 month, it is not cheap. Okay, so LPG is cheap and easily available. So LPG gas, liquefied petroleum gas, is a good fuel. Next, fifth point, it should be easily to handle, safe to transport, and convenient to store. That is, an ideal fuel or good fuel is that which does not create any safety risk handling during the transportation from one place to another place during the storage. And fifth, it should not leave without behind after burning. As you burn coal or wood, acid produced, so residue is ash, but LPG burn, there is no residue obtained. Next, it should burn smoothly. That is an idea. Ideal fuel or good fuel should have moderate rate combustion and burn at the steady rate. In other words, the fuels should not burn either too fast or too slow. So dear students, in next video we will discuss conventional source of energy, fossil fuel and petroleum. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.